5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. Oh, man, I'm sore. Guess why I'm sore?
You got fucked in the ass. That's my guess.
You're always right, man. How do you do that?
I know. It was me.
You're always
I
so
fucked you in the ass. It was me. I'm sorry, guy. I knew you knew it was me, but you played along like you didn't. That's no, I appreciate that.
Really, I'm sore because I'm putting in a lot of effort now to get back into shape, which I haven't been in many, many, many years. It's been a long time since I've actually been able to, I haven't been able to actually look in between the folds of my fat to see what's going on in there. There's a lot of discoloration. There's a couple of civilizations that have taken refuge in there.
You remember that I think it was the first Men in Black, the locker room?
The locker.
Or the locker, yeah, it's a whole civilization. That's what your fucking belly button looks like.
That's literally what's going on right now. Yeah, I've got a whole little tiny civilization that worships me like I'm God. Like that episode of Futurama where Bender gets shot into space and he has like a fucking bacteria that grows on his backside, and then they form like a little country, and he's their god, and they worship him and shit.
I haven't watched that show in so fucking long, but it's a good one.
Fantastic. Holds up so fucking well. No, but dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I made this huge. This will sound like nothing to anybody else, but for me, this is huge. I made myself breakfast this morning. Yeah, small, like, round of applause. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, okay, and everyone's thinking like, wow, fucking, that's amazing, like, big fucking deal, whatever. Let me tell you, I don't fucking cook at all. I don't make myself breakfast. Dude, my cooking skills are limited to making myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a bowl of cereal. And that's fucking about it. That's literally where I fall. I made myself a delicious protein pancake this morning.
So you're still on that keto diet bullshit, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No, I wouldn't be able to have the protein at all. It would be like...
That's what I was wondering.
That would put me way over. No, I'm just trying to do, like, I've got a trainer now, so he told me, he was just like, you need to have protein with every meal because I'm trying to, like, lose fat, gain muscle. So I'm like, I need the protein, you know what I mean? And like, dude, the guy is not fucking around, bro. Like, I'm not fucking around either. He fucking created a monster. I'm like sore constantly, and I love it. Like, I'm over here like looking in the mirror. I'm like, look at these fucking, like, oh.
Don't you just love that? Like the first few days back, you're like, oh, dude, I feel fucking huge. I'm fucking yoked. It's
those first like 2 or 3 weeks are like where you feel like, oh my God, I love this. And then once you pass the month, you're like, fuck, man, I made a mistake. I'll go back to being fat.
I'm the Diabetes other way. Isn't that Once bad. I get past the first 2 weeks, then I'm good. But those first 2 weeks really suck. But I know what you mean though, like that soreness. I do miss that, like just from a good fucking workout, and just like
where you
just feel tight, your arms are hurting, and
man.
Like you just feel fucking big. I'm like, God damn.
I forgot that fucking feeling, man. It's been so long since I've had like a legit like good workout. Like I stayed active these past few years, but I didn't do like everything I could. You know, it was mostly like visits to glory holes like men's restrooms at like Latin restaurants. And, you know,
you got to stay away from the Latin restaurants, dude. You know better than that. It's spicy going in. It's going to be spicy coming out.
It's my heritage. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I have a taste for it. And I mean,
just go to a nice Jewish restaurant, get some.
I ran out of the ingredients for the protein pancakes. Where was I supposed to get my protein from?
This is true.
Yeah. I mean, shit, man. What am I supposed to? I'm trying to get in shape here. I need as much cum as possible. Imagine that's what Mark Wahlberg says to his trainer.
I just need all the fucking cum. All of it. So we're working, Marky. Don't you fucking call me Marky. Give me that jizz. He's like, okay.
And he's like, what? He's like, I'm gonna need you to come in my mouth, and you're gonna need to do the fucking chorus from Good Vibrations. And he's like, Good Vibrations. Feel it.
A little bit more. Oh, there we go. Every drop. I feel bigger already. Thanks, big boy. And there we go, losing our mom. My mom
Our
as well.
moms, yeah, right. They're done. No, dude. I honestly, I
Don't you
feel
talk
great.
about Marky Mark that way?
That's what your mom's upset about. She's a huge
Yeah.
Marky Mark. She really is a big fan of the Funky Bunch. That's her big thing, right?
Yep. I mean, who isn't though?
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I call my testicles, the Funky Bunch.
Funky Bunch.
Did you ever name your cock and balls?
I did, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't even remember what the fuck the name was. It was like as a joke. Like someone asked me that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I named it this," and I went with it for like a while. But like, I never like wake up in the morning like, "Yeah, what's up, Pedro? How's it going?" And I'm just like, "Nah, nothing like
El
that."
Chapo. No, I was in like middle school, and me and my group of friends, everybody was naming their dicks and balls like random things, and somebody was like, "Sean, what would you name your dick and balls?" And I go, I got the perfect. I was just like, guys, nobody's got me beat on this, and they were like, all right, what is it? Lay it on us, man. And I said, easy. My dick is the Unabomber, and
God.
My balls are Bonnie and Clyde. I was like, without question, why would you even ask me this question? This is foolish. You've all failed.
So as soon as you dip into the vagina, it's gonna blow up, and then she's gonna kill herself. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah, man, that's exactly that's the kind of feel that I'm looking for. Oh my god, dude. Speaking of killing yourself, did you see the thing about that ludicrous?
Oh, where is Ginger?
Yeah, right.
This is no guest this episode.
Yeah, no guest this episode. It's original cast, so Ginger Sean's not here.
Yeah, we don't know where he's at.
I was gonna say, speaking of killing yourself, did you hear what Ludacris has alluded to the possibility for the next Fast and the Furious movie?
Oh my god, was it fucking in space or some shit?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even, I saw that as an article on Facebook when I was scrolling through. I didn't even click on it because I thought like that can't be real. I was like, just fuck, I don't even want to read the stupid article. But it very well could be real. That fucking franchise has gotten so ridiculous at this point. Space would not be out of the question.
I remember when they were I think they were in talks or negotiations of some kind to do like some type of cross franchise with the Transformers universe. You heard about that? I heard about Transformers, which I was just like, I could see it, but it would be so fucking ridiculously stupid. Just like how all their fucking movies are.
Fucking Bumblebee.
And then what are we gonna keep doing? We're just gonna keep getting Paul Walker's brothers to like, they're gonna do that face shit over their faces.
Or just get like side views of it so it kind of looks like him, and just get the lighting just right.
Yeah, I just got a text just now. I just got a text just now from my buddy, who I guess he listened to one of our podcast episodes. You know, my friend Jesse. He goes, "Yo, your podcast came true," and then he sent me a thing about how the Washington Redskins are changing their name.
That's so fucking funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely made some noise in Congress, and
yeah, that was all us. I want to take full credit for that. I think we honestly deserve it, and I think the only way to fully be appreciative for them to show their appreciation for us would be to at least split maybe a third, not half, but maybe like a third of their native land with us that they're going to be getting back. If half of Oklahoma is native land now, then I'd like at least a third of that land.
Yeah, I mean, that only seems like the right thing to do.
And but then we backtread on that, and we're like, this is Redskin land. Like we put up a sign.
We take the logo and fucking trademark it and everything.
Like we were talking in our a couple episodes ago.
What do you think's gonna happen though with all those fucking people that have their jerseys, the hats? Are they gonna get refunded?
That stuff's gonna become like super expensive memorabilia. Like 50 years from now, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you've got like that fucking OG. That's back when this shit was this shit."
That's gonna be like those people that collect like Nazi uniforms and helmets and shit.
For sure. Except I think when you have to buy like online, it's going to turn into like you have to buy it online and stuff like that, because it is a racial slur. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you'd be fucking crazy if you wanted to put that in your store and even if you weren't going to sell it, but just put it up as like, oh, I bought this from somebody, you'd be fucking insane because that's ridiculous. Like,
Some
you
guy
wouldn't put up
20
a
years from now is going to walk into the Pawn Stars with the fucking chips.
dude. What fucking, what's it called? Like, imagine you walk into Pawn Stars with your fucking bowling ball from your professional bowling team. This was from the Detroit N-words, and they're like, oh yeah,
God.
completely fine. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's just got like a fucking like Jim Crow, like fucking ridiculous blackface person like picture on the bowling ball. Yeah. Or like a big ass set of fake lips just on like a black bowling ball. I think we've got some merch ideas coming down the pipeline right now. I think that's what's happening.
We have some merch ideas for days. If anything, when this podcast, when we, eventually just figure out that this is not going to work and we just quit, we got a good business in merch.
Remember that sketch idea we had earlier today? It was the I had said to Julian, I was like, I said to you, I was like, what if you had a drug dealer who he didn't sell drugs to you, but he just smoked all of his own weed because he knew that selling weed was illegal. So instead he smoked his own weed, and then all the THC like went to his balls, and then he just like sold you his loads, and you basically just ate his loads and got super fucking baked.
Dude, I think you gotta before you go any further, disclaimer, he got his medical degree from TikTok, so we're pretty sure this is how it works. I'm not 100% sure though.
Dude, we got to release this on TikTok. Yeah, I'm gonna make a legit like super like I'm just gonna find a bunch of bullshit medical terms. But let's see how many fake ass stories and like ideas we can pass on TikTok as being true. That's what we should do. How many people we can get to fucking believe the nonsense we're saying. Basically, if you smoke enough weed, your jizz will get people high.
If that's the case, I'm gonna be having like little fucking pot babies, just shooting them out, these little jizz babies.
I mean, your daughter already right now, right?
Well, I guess we'll find out in a couple of years.
Does your mom ever ask you like, why the fuck do you guys always say this much shit about Callie?
No, she just knows that we got fucked up sense of humor, and she's just like, she just pretty much tells me you're a fucking idiot. She thinks Ginger is like actually on the spectrum, if like not
legitimately. We've got multiple people telling us he might actually be retarded. I can't wait till a legitimate doctor chimes in. Like Dr. Drew shows up in our comment section.
No, he's definitely fucking retarded.
And he's like, not only is he on the spectrum, but I think he has a litany of issues going on with him.
Do you think anyone's skin's supposed to be that color? His hair? Look at him, he's a monster.
Oh my god!
No, speaking of TikTok history and conspiracies and just stupid fucking stories, I saw one today that kind of goes in the same thing of like the Wayfair conspiracies and shit with all the children trafficking and all that.
Right. We talked about that on our previous episode. We should be putting out 2 episodes this week, right?
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna end up doing 2.
This will be our second one, but the one right before this, which is probably episode 27.
One of those 2.
One of those, yeah.
Fucking math and numbers.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, we discussed like the whole Wayfair situation, but go ahead and give a recap for anyone who just didn't bother to fucking listen to any of our other stories.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, unless you're living under a fucking rock, I'm sure you've heard of the situation, or it's not even a situation, I wouldn't call it, I guess more of a conspiracy at this point. But it's, they're saying that Wayfair is involved in child trafficking, and they're putting up these different, items like a cabinet or I saw one today. I'm actually going to have you look this up because it was fucking weird, because I saw a video and I did it myself, and the video was correct, but I don't know what that means yet. I don't want to get sucked into this fucking conspiracy. But anyways, yeah, they're supposed, supposedly selling children on Wayfair and using different items to cover it. And
as of right now, there's absolutely 100% unequivocally 100% no proof that any of this is going on, other than the fact that there's this really fucking like creepy, disturbing situation that a lot of these items are named after some kids that have gone missing. And they're even super overpriced. And it's weird. It's so fucking weird. But until there's actual evidence, this whole thing is still really stupid. Like,
so I completely agree with you with that. There's not any evidence to back it up, but there's a lot of just crazy, conspiracy, just theories popping up, and I
mm-hmm.
haven't seen any actual evidence to support it. Not to say that it's not happening, you know what I mean? But like, I just haven't seen it. So I had seen that another TikTok involving Justin Bieber and that last song he put out, the Yummy Yummy one or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And supposedly, that song is referencing him being, a child, something involved with the child trafficking of, underage kids and sex trafficking, like crazy shit like that. And I'm just watching this video. I'm like, they're reaching so fucking hard for this shit. Like, it just, I don't know. To me, it just seems just foolish and just ridiculous. But, I got my degree on TikTok. Who am I to say anything?
Yeah. I mean, fuck, I don't know. It'd be hilarious if I saw this one thing where it was like somebody did this like almost expose video about the whole Wayfair situation, and they were like, someone in the comment section was like, "Damn, people on TikTok are really out here like exposing like Hollywood sex trafficking and governmental like fucking conspiracy." Like, no, they're fucking not.
No,
What are
they're
you,
not.
insane? Are you fucking crazy? It must be like a fucking 12-year-old who's writing something like that. And then half of this shit just comes out like a couple weeks later, like it was completely untrue. But then most people don't even see that story. So then they're just like, oh no, it's true. And then they wind up going the rest of their life thinking, wow, I can't believe they never got justice for that fucking story. Newsflash, the story was bullshit to begin with, you psycho.
That's the main reason. I remember like a few months back, Ginger Sean was like super adamant about like getting a TikTok and doing videos. And I was like, no, let's pump the brakes on that, because I know if we gave him the ability to have access to TikTok, he'd be making videos like that, and probably worse. It'd just be him like humping a fucking.
What if he gets super popular? He gets super popular. He starts doing those fucking little dances and shit.
Oh my god. Please, let's do this.
I'd love to see that. We have him do some type of like we have him do like little nursery rhymes and shit like that.
I mean, he's pretty good at freestyling, so we could definitely have him do that.
Did you? I don't know if you heard about this, because I didn't hear about this until honestly today. And I don't know if they are planning on doing one, but it's around the idea of a Kill Bill 3. I doubt that they're.
Yeah, I've heard rumors for a while about that. And what's her name is supposed to play the daughter. What the hell
Zendaya?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not entirely for or against it, because I do feel like it's like a really self-contained story that was like perfectly wrapped up, and I don't think it necessarily needs to be revisited.
Mm-hmm.
But I could somewhat get behind the idea of like a revenge story surrounding the daughter coming after, Beatrice Kiddo. Anyone who hasn't seen Kill Bill, like seriously, get on your shit. But like, if it was done right, obviously it would have to be done by Quentin Tarantino. Like, no one else could fucking do it. I'd be annoyed if it was tried, like if they tried to helm it with someone else. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work.
Dude, I honestly, like, I saw that and I was just like, oh man, like I want to be excited about the idea of that, but then at the same time, I'm just like, it's so hard. I feel like I've become this jaded fuck who's just like, you bring up an idea to me and I'm just like, no, go fuck yourself.
Well, like you said though, like that's those movies, they ended in such a good way. It didn't necessarily need to, have a continuation. And now that it's like fucking, when was the last Kill Bill movie? When did that come out? Like 04? Or some shit like that.
Definitely before 2006. I know that.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a fucking minute. So I feel like movie theaters are just doing this shit, or not movie theaters, sorry, movies are just doing this shit where they're either rebooting a whole franchise or just like remaking it. And like you said, it doesn't sound like a bad idea or a premise, having her get revenge on the whole situation that happened, Kill Bill. But then why not just do, once this is over, get the revenge for her that got the revenge? It's just fucking, just like, it's just going to get kind of silly at that point. And I hope it doesn't get to that point, because those are really good movies. and I would hate for it to be kind of like tarnished because they try to get some more money and milk the franchise.
Yeah, no, I really wouldn't. I don't think it would, honestly, because I don't think Quentin Tarantino would want to do that unless he had an actual good reason to go back to it. Because I think with the way that the stories ended, and for anyone who doesn't give a shit about Kill Bill that we're talking about it, like, too bad. Skip ahead in the video. What's it called? For the way that it ended so perfectly and so on point with everything. You know what I mean? Like, she gets, spoiler alert, she gets her fucking revenge on pretty much everybody. She finds out her daughter is fucking alive. She gets her daughter back. But then she's also like left in this like state of turmoil because even after everything that happened with Bill, David Carradine's character, Uma Thurman's character, Beatrix Kiddo, she still loves him. They still love each other. It's so fucking toxic that they get into a death match at the end of the movie, which is literally the best part of the second movie. The last like 40 minutes is fucking amazing, where they have this long ass conversation where he's shooting her with the fucking truth serum darts and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. The acting, the action, everything. So good. But
no, the fighting in that was really the sequences and the choreography, and it was dope.
Fucking great. But what's it called? Dude, they're in love with each other. They're still in love with each other. He shot her in the head while she was pregnant, getting married to another guy, killed all of her friends. It was a huge fucking massacre. Left her in a coma for like 5 years, and then sent somebody to go fucking kill her. She wakes up, blah blah blah, all this shit, and then like they still, after all this, they're still in love with each other. It's like the definition of toxic as fuck relationships. But there's like something beautiful about it that like I think everyone can kind of understand the idea of like no matter how much someone hurts you, you still want to be there for them. And it's not necessarily a good thing, but like it almost like you're it's like you're together in like your toxicity, you know what I mean? And you guys kind of sink together in that fucking hellhole that they created for each other. But yeah, at the end of the fucking movie, when she takes her to the motel, her daughter, after she kills Bill, she's like crying on the floor in the bathroom of the motel while their daughter watches cartoons because she's fucking sad. She had to kill the man she loved. And I just thought, oh man, that's the and then she like wipes her tears. She goes out and she's with her daughter and she's happy, smiling. They're like, I mean,
no, it ended up really well.
It's such a good ending. And I really just think if they try to touch it, which I don't think Quentin Tarantino would do unless he had a really good way to go about it, I think it would kind of be, it would lessen the impact of the series as a whole, the both movies. I think it just ended so perfectly. Just leave it alone, let it die. If you want to, like, I wouldn't give a fuck if they made like a comic book, like a slight comic book, like a mini series, like spin-off, and they did something like that, and they got Quentin Tarantino's okay, but they were like, yeah, but this is, you know, it's just some fucking comic book. It's not like whatever. I wouldn't give too much of a shit of that, but I don't think we need a third movie to make it like a trilogy or anything.
I completely agree on you on that. And you know, it won't just be a third one. They'll make a sequel to that one. They'll have to. And that's what I was saying earlier. I don't want them to just make a movie for the sake of making a movie for money and, you know, all this other stupid shit, especially when the end of the Kill Bill movie was so good and it ended perfectly, like the way it should have. There's a perfect character arc for the most part and all that. No, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on it. I'm more leaning towards I hope it doesn't get made, but then I could, you know, regret it and it turns out to be a fucking phenomenal, you know, just a phenomenal movie.
It's such a tough place to be in when you really like something so much, but it's different when it's something that is so genuinely good. Because it would be one thing if you're just like, oh, I really like this movie, and then people are just like, that movie sucks, and you're like, yeah, I guess it does kind of suck, but I like it. And then, but this is such a genuinely really great fucking film, like, well, two films, and it ended so fucking perfectly. Like, honestly, I 100% cannot think of a better ending for Kill Bill 1 and 2 than the way that Kill Bill 2 ends. I just honestly couldn't. And I don't know how a trilogy about Vivica A. Fox's character daughter hunting down Uma Thurman's character Beatrix Kiddo to get revenge could end in a way that was satisfying.
You know what they need to do? A whole new thing, and it's going to be Jaden Smith hunting down August Alsina, getting revenge on not only for Will but for her mom.
Kill Will? Is it Kill Will? This is 3 episodes we've talked about this fucking situation now, man. 3 episodes.
Leave the guy alone. He's done. He's done.
He's dead.
Just poking him with a stick at this point. Do something funny. Say something about West Philadelphia.
Did you see the Did you see that Mariah Carey officially announced her like memoir is going to be coming out in September?
No. Good God.
I can't wait for the chapter all about Eminem in there.
Dude, that'll be fucking. Dude, there was some crazy shit that went down between them that like I mean, obviously you've heard some of the songs that Eminem's put out just addressing that, but even then, I feel like there's so much more that went down, and I really don't think like Mariah Carey. She's kind of a fucking cunt.
Oh no,
from what I've heard, I heard she's just a diva cunt.
I'm gonna say this right now. I don't like her fucking music. I think she's fucking like. I think she makes super generic fucking like R&B music that's just for everybody. It's just like run of the mill pop music that I really don't care for, like at all. She reminds me of someone like, I'll say this. This is how I would describe her.
It's the best Christmas album.
Yeah, she's a super talented singer. I don't think she's a really talented artist. You know what I mean? Like, I think her art is shit, but she knows how to, like, she can tell you the technical techniques to doing everything well. You know, that's like an art teacher. Like, you know, you didn't make it as like a person who's selling your art pieces for like $10 million. So you're just some fucking middle school art teacher because you know all the techniques better than every regular person. She is a master at her techniques. That's why she's so good with, you know, her singing ability and stuff like that. I just think she makes trash ass music. And I always have, even when I was a kid, like whenever that shit would come on the radio, I'm just like, I don't want to hear this crap.
Yeah. I've never really gone out of my way to listen to a Mariah Carey song. Other than there was this one, and I actually didn't listen to it. The music video, she was just super hot in it.
The one where she's on the car?
It was like a soccer one. I don't know. That's all I can remember. She was like at a soccer field and wearing like a white.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was super fucking hot in that. I was like,
yeah, back in the day, she was so fucking hot, dude. Like late 90s, early 2000s. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, she was killing it. Yeah. Now she's weird looking, dude. She looks like one of those mafia wives. Like
what's that TV show, the fucking, not Desperate Housewives, but it's like that, but say like the mobsters and shit, and they're always fucking talking shit on each other. And Tony, once Tony gets out of jail, they're always fucking chain smoking, and they sound like a gremlin would sound like if it could talk.
What fucking show is that? Is it like Real Housewives of like Jersey or some shit like that?
Some shit like that, or like Long Island or some shit like
one
that.
One of those bitches now. That's what she fucking looks like.
That's terrible.
She's got these fucking like this huge rack that's like fucking, it looks like someone put a drawer in her shirt, like from your dresser. Like it's just fucking sitting there like this fucking box. I don't even know if her tits are real anymore. I have no idea. She looks like this ridiculous monster, like someone molded her out of clay or something like that. And have you ever seen that video of her performing and like she just has like the dancers carry her around and shit? Have you ever seen a more lazy fucking performance? Aside from, I
won't even break a sweat. You carry me to the mic.
It's like Riff Raff. If you've ever seen like videos of Riff Raff, or I think he's Jody High Roller now.
Oh, he changed his name?
Maybe he went back to Riff Raff, because I know he was Riff Raff, then he changed it to Jody High Roller, and I think maybe he went back to Riff Raff again.
He's our modern day P. Diddy.
You know, he apparently he does when he does concerts and stuff like that, he'll like sit down and they play the actual track, like the song itself with the audio in it and everything already. And then every once in a while, I think if I'm remembering this correctly, like he'll just like chime in every once in a while and be like, "Duh, duh," and he'll like say the words while they're being said.
Oh my god!
Unless
I
I'm
hate
thinking of
that
somebody else. Yeah, he's the fucking worst. Can you
dude.
imagine being this fucking lazy? You're like, somebody bring out my lazy boy. You just
Not
fucking
my
sit
lazy
there
boy.
and you wait for a fucking Domino's pizza to show up.
Yeah, just mid fucking concert. He's just sitting there in the fucking middle, just all right, yeah, right here. Just fucking eating his pizza. I don't even know any of his songs, honestly.
Dude, I once worked a security job once for this like nice neighborhood, and I just kept seeing this Domino's guy coming back and forth. Like he kept having deliveries inside the fucking, the community. And when he came in the last time, I was like, dude, it's about to be my lunchtime. Like, I think I'm gonna order from you guys. Can you just like bring me my food or whatever? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So he came back, and I had ordered my food, and I was pretty sure he had my fucking food with him. And so I go, hey, I think you got my food with you. And he's like, haha. And I'm like, no, like seriously, like I ordered like from, and I was like, Sean, and he's just like, he kept thinking I was fucking with him. I was like, he's like, dude, can you let me in the fucking place? And I'm like, dude, you have my food. Okay. Like, seriously, I paid for it. I told them to send you here. I was like, I can fucking call them. We got into a whole argument. We got into a whole fucking argument over this shit. It was literally like fucking 8 minutes of him sitting in his fucking car. And then eventually I was like, dude, can you just pull off to the side and like call your fucking manager because you're incompetent as shit? And I was just like, that's me, Sean. Like, look at the fucking receipt, dude. He kept thinking I was just trying to steal food from them and get it for free. Because I made a comment before how it was like, oh man, if you had like a pizza, I'd take that shit, And, yeah.
You said this was Domino's?
Yeah, that's my Domino's story.
That's my Domino's story. I actually had it was a fucking, I don't even know how many episodes back, but you tell me about your Uber Eats incident or with the Taco Bell thing.
Yeah.
I had a similar incident the other day. And so fucking homeboy's running mad late to begin with. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm waiting, tracking him, and he's like not anywhere near me. And I get a call. He's like, hey, this is so and so from Uber Eats. Just want to let you know I dropped your food off. I'm like, okay.
Fuckers.
So I walk outside, and there's no food on my door. I'm like, what the fuck? So I call him back. I'm like, yo, you said you dropped the food off, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, it's not out here.
Motherfucker.
Like, oh, address, this, and that. I'm like, no. He's like, oh. I was like, and I told him my address. He's like, oh yeah, I'll be right there. I'm like, so
the food's gonna be gone. The food's gonna be gone. What are you talking about?
Luckily, it wasn't. I got my food, but
God, dude, you're lucky.
Still,
some people ate my fucking
someone else's fucking.
And I was ready to rock that fucking Uber driver shit. And that wasn't the first. That was the first. Like that happened, and I'd always been afraid of that happening because ever since the virus, they all just don't come to your fucking door anymore. They leave the food on your doorstep. And I specifically have put in the app, don't put it on the doorstep because there's an option. It's not like you write it in. You can have an option of meeting them outside, getting them to hand you the food, having them drop it off at your doorstep, or just hand you the food at the door. I always put hand me the food at the door because first of all, you're delivering food to me. So it's your fucking job. Just bring it to my goddamn apartment. That's all your fucking job is, dude. I've done food service shit before. Like it fucking infuriates me when people fucking cut corners like this hard. I specify in the app, like, hand me the food. They still fucking refuse. They just leave it on the doorstep and they'll knock and then walk away. And then by the time you get to the door, they're in their car and they've already driven like they drove down the fucking block.
They're fucking quick with it too. They know.
They fucking run. They're fairies or some shit. They're like leprechauns or some fucking thing. They're sliding in between the fucking bars of my apartment building and shit like that.
Just to get in.
I don't know how they're
doing that hardcore parkour.
Like jumping off balconies and stuff to get out of here. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, it's happened already like 3 or 4 times. And I said, no more. I'm done with it. I was just like, I'm not ordering ever fucking again. Nothing. Like no more Uber Eats, no more DoorDash. They all fucking do it now. They all just knock and leave. Even when you tell them, fucking bring it to me, hand it to me, make sure I'm the fucking person. Nothing. Doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I mean, I would at least rather them. I don't necessarily want them to fucking meet me at the door, but at least call me and be like, "Hey, I'm at the door," and then I'll be like, "All right, cool." I'll go out there and check. I'm like, "Cool, drop the shit off. I'll grab it. You're good to go."
All I'm asking for is this: put it on the doorstep, knock on the door, move 6 feet back, and then wait for me to fucking open the door and say that I'm the goddamn person. It's not fucking rocket scientist.
Rocket scientist.
Yeah, there you go. All right. I'm gonna kill myself, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and kill myself.
Hey, make sure you do it on camera, though. We need the views, bro.
Yeah.
Don't be selfish.
Dude, don't glorify fucking suicide like that. What's wrong with you? Didn't you hear that Logic song?
Oh,
I don't want to die today.
That TikTok fucker had me laughing the way you said.
I'm gonna be honest though. There's probably never been a song that's made me like driven me closer to suicide than that fucking song. To be honest,
it was pretty corny. It definitely was. You could tell the labels like, "Hey, we need you to put a fucking radio single out there. It's gotta be some type of fucking whatever's trending that week." And suicide.
Do you think? I'm guessing there was some type of meeting of the minds, like some type of gathering of the greatest brains, and they were like, "We need an advocate for, like mental health. We need Logic." Yeah, okay, we need
that makes
Logic.
A lot of sense. Yeah,
they were just like, "Oh my god, I get it." Like they was just, I'm sure they were just patting each other on the back and jerking each other off when they came up with that one. Guys, we need Logic. Get it?
Get it? It's already gonna work. It's a pun. Get it?
I want to fucking kill myself after that song.
Yeah, that was definitely probably one of my favorite Logic songs.
Can you guys hear me chewing?
No.
It's nice Cajun trail mix.
Asian trail mix. What is?
No, Cajun.
Oh, like dirty Cajuns?
It's like spicy and shit. It's like those guys that
fuck. You gotta know
fucking gators and shit like that. Like fucking like 6 in.
Oh, like Theo Von looking motherfuckers. That's what I think of Cajun.
Oh my god.
Or what was that one dude from fucking the Water Boy?
Yeah, that boy on there.
He's all fucking rubbing his nipples. Like
that guy, exactly. Or I think it's the same guy in Joe Dirt.
Yeah,
where he's like,
homo naked. Homo, where you naked?
Homo, you like to see homos naked?
You like to see homos naked? That's cool, man.
Homo, where you naked?
All right, cool, man. Cool, brother.
No, man, you like to see homos naked. There ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. He's like, I mean, it's not my thing, but you go ahead. Yeah.
That's one of those movies that they made a second one and they should not have.
Oh, God. Do you remember the second Joe Dirt?
I couldn't finish it, dude. I stopped.
I don't remember if I finished it or not, but I remember starting. What was the premise? He like goes back in time?
I don't even know, dude. I watched like 2 minutes. I'm like, nope.
What was that? It was so goddamn bad. Holy shit. You know what movie I'd like to see a sequel to? Just because I think it would be awful. And
Schindler's List.
The New Guy. Do you remember The New Guy?
Oh yeah, with that fucking who's that skinny fucking actor that played?
Yeah, that like weird skinny dude.
Yeah.
And he gets his dick broken off, and like they staple like tits onto him, and
they did some fucked up shit.
And then he winds up going to prison for some reason, and because he broke like what did he do? He like broke a broom handle or some shit.
I don't even know. What was that other movie he was in? He wasn't the main character, but it was like one of those teenage cross country movies where they're in college.
Road Trip.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Every movie was trying to be the next American Pie. I love that. I love the genre of almost American Pie movies. That's one of my favorite genre of movies because there's some things you're guaranteed in those movies. Tits. You're guaranteed tits. You're guaranteed drinking. Drugs. There's going to be a shit ton of jokes about masturbation and sex, drugs. There's definitely going to be there's going to be at least 3 parties that go on in that shit. There's going to be again. You have to say tits again. There's that many tits in those movies. Oh man, I love that genre. Yeah, that movie Road Trip. I honestly, there's a saving grace about that movie, which is fucking what the fuck is his name? Dude,
The main character?
No. What's it called? Is it Tim Green?
Oh, Tom Green?
Tom Green. Yeah, dude, Tom Green. What the fuck? I forgot Tom Green's name. Dude, Tom Green's character in that movie is goddamn hilarious. I could skip through every scene in that fucking movie and just condense it down to Tom Green scenes, which will probably come to like less than 15 minutes, and that would be fucking amazing. That guy is the fucking shit. He's like, I think he's really underrated. I think he's almost like the American version, or no, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian, yeah.
Canadian, he's like the Canadian version of like Sacha Baron Cohen. Like
I wouldn't say, I don't like him as much. I don't. But yeah, I see the compare. Yeah, I know what you mean though. He was on the Rogan podcast not too long ago, and it was a really interesting one. So I haven't heard from him, or like I haven't even heard about him in years.
I think I saw that one because I feel like I saw him recently. He looks old now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that. He's like, it's interesting when you see those guys that were always the really zany, crazy fucks that were like, you know, I can't wait to see like Steve-O when he's in like his fucking, when he's 55.
Yeah, that's gonna makes it that far.
All the jackass people, like everyone, whoever fucking makes it that far.
Bam looks just like his dad and Vito.
Yeah, like they did the fusion dance. Yeah, that dude, that's literally what he fucking looks like. I want to see what they all fucking look like, man. All these dudes that were like the craziest motherfuckers. Did I ever tell you about, speaking of jackass now that we're on this fucking tangent?
Oh god.
Did I ever tell you about this movie called Dirty Sanchez?
No, but that's actually my favorite wrestling move.
Yeah. I rented a DVD from the local Blockbuster when I was in like fucking elementary school or middle school.
What's a Blockbuster?
It was called Dirty Sanchez. And my dad was like, yeah, sure, because we looked at the cover and it was like, it looked like some jackass shit. He knew what a Dirty Sanchez was. I knew what a Dirty Sanchez was. We weren't kidding ourselves. He didn't want any part in watching it though. He was just like, it was some crazy fucking, like, it was basically the UK version of Jackass. Like, these guys decided they wanted to be like the next Jackass, but they were going to be crazier. They were going to be more over the top. To this day, I
get more over the top.
Well, let me tell you.
Oh god.
So I haven't looked up to see if any of the things they did were real, but I'll tell you, if it is real, it is in some cases illegal, and in other cases, just some of the most horrific things I could ever possibly think of. They played, at one point, I think they play a poker game. Here's how it starts. One of the members is fat, and they get him to have liposuction, but they do it in a foreign country because they want to keep the fat. So they have to go to a different country. And then they play a poker game, and whoever, I guess, loses has to drink the fat.
Oh, I don't even know. I mean,
dude, if someone's watching this, look up and see if you can find this fucking movie. It's called Dirty Sanchez, if I'm remembering correctly. That could just be like a wet dream of mine.
It just turns out that it was just a fucking home video.
What if I just made this whole thing myself? Yeah.
So just a figment of, something actually even worse happened to you, and you just created this fucking terrible movie.
Those of you might remember my Publix almost rape scenario when I was like 10 years old, when I almost got fucking raped in a bathroom. Well, this might be where the trauma wound up. I created all these fake characters in my head. What if I've got split personality and I've just got like these fucking weird UK stuntmen guys just fucking drinking each other's fat? One of the other ones was they did this other game. I don't even remember what this one was, but they had a cigar cutter. You know what I mean? Like you put the cigar in, like you cut it. And whoever lost the game had to cut the tip of their pinky off with the cigar cutter. And I remember watching the movie and I was like, oh, this is gonna be the best one. This one's gonna be amazing. And I was just like, I'm like in middle school or elementary school, so I'm like definitely younger than like 13.
The audience is supposed to be.
And my dad came and he saw some of the stuff that was going on and he totally didn't care. He saw the fat thing, all the other stuff. He was like, whatever. When it got to that, he was like, Sean, I need you to pause the movie. And I was just like, yeah, what's up? And he goes, I'm not going to tell you what to do in this situation, but I will tell you I don't necessarily feel comfortable with you watching this man cut off his finger. And I was like, I know what that means. That means don't watch it. Like, he's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Bullshit. Because, like, obviously, if I watched the movie, he was going to start something with me. So I was like, oh, man.
So you get to watch that scene?
I never got to see it, dude. And what I'm asking for now is I need you guys to send me the clip of this asshole cutting his fucking finger off. That's what I want to see.
Dude, that's how we'll open up next episode.
Watching that?
No, we're going to cut Ginger's finger off. And not give him any context to it. Just run up to him and just cut his finger off.
We're like, hey, dude, take a look at this cigar cutter. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, look how far your finger can get into it. Dude, that's fucking... Man, I really fucking wish that I could have seen this shit. Oh, dude, I really want to talk about this, dude. Just real quick.
Okay.
I was upset by this. You already know what I'm going to say because I said it to you on the phone earlier today.
Uh-oh. Is it about minorities again?
Yeah, they keep changing the names of these goddamn football teams, and I'm fed up with it, man. It's about our history. It's about our history.
What if they just replace the logo for the Confederate flag?
What if it's just a fucking swastika?
But it's like a different angle. It's like, no, that's not.
What if they go the opposite and they do it something that's like really, like they call it the Nazis, like the Washington Nazis.
Would be bad. That would probably be bad.
Let's start a petition to call them the Washington Nazis.
Every player's got to have a Hitler stash, though.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. And if you got some type of pituitary gland problem, you can't grow it. Like, we're just going to like use some tar. Just like color it in right here. What's it called? What I was going to say was anyone who grew up as a fan of Mythbusters will be saddened by the news that one of the cast members of Mythbusters, Grant Imahara, died of a brain aneurysm. I think it said he was 49 years old.
Yeah, he's 49.
And the news just dropped. Dude, I grew up on that show so fucking hard. That was literally my favorite show in middle school. I recorded and watched every single episode. I would come home from school and I would watch, like binge watch every episode that played that day. Yeah. I would have them all recorded so that I would never be short on episodes.
We used to, in college, we got like very few channels. So it was either fucking, we're watching Supernatural or Mythbusters or 1,000 Ways to Die. That was all that we could watch. So I love Mythbusters. We used to get fucking just high as hell or just get drunk as fuck and watch Mythbusters until like 4 a.m. It was the fucking best.
Dude, your college sounds like a nightmare.
Oh my fucking God, how do they do this shit? But no, it is very sad.
Like, imagine you were just like, yeah, I used to have this MP3 player and all that played was that Logic Suicide song. What if you killed yourself to that song? Like,
dude, that's even more depressing than committing suicide. Just the thought that you did.
Dude, what if Logic kills himself to that song?
It's kind of poetic. At his funeral after he kills himself. And then his ghost kills himself.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I was really fucking sad about that, dude. That bothered me. Honestly, for one thing, he's still super young. 49 years old. Come on. You're like literally just on the other side of like, I think they say what, like in your 30s is when they start to consider you like middle-aged or something like that. No, it's like what, like 40s?
I think 40s, yeah.
So he had just passed like his, time of being middle-aged and stuff like that. He didn't even really get into being like a cranky old fuck yet.
Right.
That's so depressing, dude. I'm honestly, like, legitimately, I told this to Benexi, I have a fear of like brain aneurysms. Like I'm terrified because it's just something that can just happen. You don't know.
Did you ever watch Archer?
Yes. Yeah, it's one of his fears. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like crocodiles.
Yeah.
He's like, why brain aneurysms? He's like, this can just happen anywhere. Anyone can happen.
When he said that, I literally was like, that's what I'm saying, dude. That fucking scares the shit out of me.
Anytime I get like a random like headache or like something in my head, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, oh my God, it's happening.
Dude, a girl I went to school with from like all the way since I came to Florida all the way to high school. She actually died of it in high school. I think she had a headache. She had like this really bad headache. And anyone who went to school with me is going to know her name. I don't want to say her name because obviously she has friends and family and stuff like that. And I don't want to like, you know, feel like I'm kind of profiting off of her death or anything like that.
Right.
She had like a headache for like a couple of days and then she wound up going to the hospital. And I think something happened, like she wound up in a coma and apparently it was a brain aneurysm or some shit like that. And she died. She was dead within a couple of days. And she has a twin sister who like, dude, that's got to be the fucking worst. Being the twin that like is still alive.
Yeah.
Dude, every time your birthday rolls around, it's got to be super fucking depressing. Like, holy shit.
It's like having your birthday on 9/11. It would kind of suck the first few years.
But you could have so much fun freaking out your parents. Like you dress up like a ghost.
Oh my God, dude. It's me,
like if one of the girls from Sister ever dies, the other one could really freak out her husband, man. You didn't save me.
Dude, that'd be so fucked. I mean, he just like kills himself. We're getting on a really weird topic of just killing ourselves. We've been hanging around gender too long.
I think we're internalizing some shit a little bit too much over here.
Thank God.
I don't know, man. I was really upset by that. I felt really upset because it's like when you start watching something from the time that you're a kid and then you grow up with it, kind of, you have this sort of connection with the people involved in it. And you just think, oh man, like I know what he would have said in a situation like this. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. And you're just like, fuck, dude, this guy died at 49 years old. I didn't even look up if he had a wife or kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
God, that's so fucking sad, dude. I think the saddest deaths have got to be those fucking sudden ones. Like I'm having this conversation with Benexi right now because there was like a death in her family recently, but they've known about it for a while.
So they kind of were able to prepare for it at least.
Right. So they've kind of been waiting on it, but it's in another country, the person who passed away. And since we have the travel ban because of COVID, they can't go and visit.
Wow, like that's kind of shitty though.
Passed recently, and so it's only been like 2 or 3 days now since it happened. But they knew it was coming for the longest time. They were just like, "Hey, it's probably going to be any day now." Like literally, probably, like, you know. And I think to myself, like, well, it's so great that you guys at least knew, so you could like try and have time with this person and stuff like that.
Said your goodbyes and shit.
I asked Benexi, how old was this person? And she goes like, oh, this old. That's only a couple years older than my parents. Because my parents are both really old. They had me when I was the last out of all of their kids. You know what I mean? They had their kids really late in life. You know what I mean? Like my mother was getting up to that age where it would like have been dangerous to have a kid at that point. Because, you know, they tell you that
spectrum,
higher chance of autism, which thanks, Mom.
That explains everything.
Yeah,
it wasn't
right.
the MSG, it was your mom's old eggs.
I'm like a reverse Rain Man, though. I'm like fucking retarded.
The reverse Rain Man, that's just a regular retard.
What's it called? So yeah, I was thinking to myself, God, you know, I've always had this thought ever since I was younger about how like, fuck, my parents are probably gonna die before I'm, you know, in my 40s. You know what I mean? They're not gonna like live to see me get to my 40s, you know, because I'm already like just hit 25. Like, come on, there's no way they're gonna live like another 20-ish years. You know, they're already both pushing their 70s now. So it's like not that they couldn't, but it's just like I if they did, I'd be like, wow. And I don't think either of them would even want to live that long, because I know my dad fucking would. And he talks about how he would hate it if he ever got to be like one of those old raisin dudes who was like crumpled up and shit. Yeah, he would fucking hate that. So yeah, dude. So I always had that in the back of my mind growing up as a kid, because all the other kids had like parents that were, younger, and mine were always like the age of their parents or their grandparents. So legitimately, I just thought to myself, man, it's going to be so hard when my parents go, because of the fact that they're older. I think it is going to be like a sudden thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to be like, fuck, that's going to hit me really rough.
Yeah, it's going to just be blindsiding.
I told her, I was just like, I'm going to need like a week to a month to really just like be left alone. Like, if I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna fucking cry. If I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna scream. If I need to go stay at a hotel and be by myself, like, I just might need to fucking do that. I have no idea, but I think it'll probably hit me hard, And
yeah, I don't even want to imagine.
Thinking about this whole Mythbusters thing made me think of that again too, which is a conversation I just had yesterday about my parents fucking dying. So then it got brought back up to me when I saw this fucking story, and I was like, oh my God, I can't escape this shit, man. I just keep thinking about people I love dying.
That's a good way to go about life.
I don't know, man. But how are we doing on time?
I think we're over an hour.
Jesus Christ, how are we doing this?
I don't know. Yesterday's episode was an hour 40.
Crazy. You got anything left, or are you ready to call it quits?
I don't really got too much, other than the fact, this week we're putting out 2 episodes. Don't get used to it. It was kind of just a random thing, just due to scheduling. But I mean, we do kind of plan on maybe eventually starting to put multiple episodes out. Not every week, but every other week or so.
Yeah, we do want to eventually start putting out multiple episodes, but it's when we get more free time and more availability, and when we actually start turning a profit on this fucking podcast. So definitely don't get used to that until you guys start fucking paying us money. That's for sure. Donate to our OnlyFans. Make sure
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans. That's where you're going to see all the premium content. That's where you're going to see all the
just Ginger's butthole.
It's where we're filling Ginger Sean's, all of his holes.
He's actually that drug dealer we were telling you about from earlier. We're just pumping him like a cow. He's just strapped up on a fucking chain and are just milking him.
Yeah, what if like some drug cartel found that guy? Like I'm giving us like a whole movie sketch right now, and they connected him to one of those milking things for like a cow. And they're just tugging on his fucking dick like all day long. He's just filling up buckets with his THC cum. Dude, we gotta write movies, man. I keep telling you.
I know.
But all right, guys, we appreciate you tuning into another episode of the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. Just remember, we're going to be putting out 2 episodes this week, so this should be episode, I want to say this is probably episode 27, 28. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's hard to remember.
Like less than 30, more than 25. I can tell you that much.
So it'll be 2 this week, and then we'll either go back to doing our regular schedule once we can get back in the studio. It's just been kind of conflicted this week. We weren't able to actually do anything together, so we kind of had to do everything on the fly here. So bear in mind with that. Hopefully the video is okay. Hopefully the audio is okay. We did a lot of testing beforehand to make sure that holy shit, were we running into problems today?
Yeah, for like an hour. I was like about to just give up. I was about to say, fuck it, we're not recording an episode today.
It was so bad, guys. It was fucking all over the place. Holy shit. Every time Julian talked, I would hear robot sounds. Like, everything was off. Everything was fucking off. But anyways, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, any place you can find podcasts. OnlyFans for sure. You can find us on all our social media at Real Clean Closet. So that's Twitter, Instagram, and also Facebook. You can find us on Facebook with our full name, The Cleaning Out My Closet Podcast, or with at Real Clean Closet. We also have a TikTok. We only really use it to post like little promos for the episodes, which is what we usually post on Facebook and Instagram anyways. So it's up to you if you want to follow us on TikTok, really. We're not making really any videos.
We're not doing the TikTok shit.
Yeah, we're not TikTok. So, but as of right now, yeah, that's every place you can find us. And tune into the next episode. Make sure you're commenting. I fixed the comments, so everyone's comments should come through now automatically.
Yes, thank
no
God.
problem with that. And yeah, kiss your dad for us.
Mwah.
Fucking did it. That one I feel good about.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me tell this fuckboy Craig to leave. Yeah, recording.
So was he was in the thing then, right?
That's what it said.
Because I sent you a message and I was like, is Craig here? Because it's not showing up on my thing. That's what worried me.
Oh no, yeah, it says right here, because on the left hand.